What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Cass here, and I am here with Valente, and we are back for episode 3 of the bye week podcast with the Ball Knowers podcast, David Miller. And we are going to talk about the NFL today, strictly the NFL. I know typically in the last two, we've really expanded to different kind of sports because we're trying to broaden our knowledge. But David is the go-to football TikToker in me and Valente's group. So,
True.
so um, we
Love that.
so And one particular situation has been really been talked about, at least with me and Valente, that David has felt very
Going
strongly
through Twitter
about,
today and I saw it.
and we feel very strongly about it as well. At least I do. Valente can voice his opinion in a minute, but the Deshaun Watson situation, 6 games. Calvin Ridley is
Games by the
legit punch.
judge.
Calvin Ridley's punching air right now.
Oh God, Calvin Ridley, Josh Gordon.
Josh Gordon's punching
I was gonna
air.
say we've had careers thrown away over weed, and this man has 30 sexual assault accusations, and they're gonna give him
60.
games.
60. He has 60, I
Oh,
think.
it's
So
60.
I think he has 60 civil lawsuits, and 30 of them have been settled by the Texans.
Holy shit! I
That's
didn't
why
even
it's
realize it
currently
was that
30.
high.
And they only
Interesting.
tried him on 4 or 5.
Yeah, they only did. That's why That was their excuse for why the sentence was so less. Is because they only
Right.
tried him on like 4 of the cases. And I know how you feel about Kareem. I saw that video recently too. But Kareem Hunt got a year.
Yeah.
Like,
Listen, and like I will give Kareem Hunt his shit because what he did was inexcusable, but at least his he was provoked in a certain way, according to what I understand. Like the woman said something not okay to him, and he just kind of like lost his temper for a moment. Because like there's a big difference between laying your hands on somebody or I guess laying your foot on somebody one time, and doing everything Watson has done over the past year. And Hunt got like twice, maybe 3 times the punishment Watson did. It's disgusting. It is downright fucking disgusting. Excuse my French, but it is disgusting.
no, and a rare, and I think this is what your TikTok might have been titled to, but a rare Roger Goodell W.
The
He's gonna get
only Roger Goodell W.
he's gonna get cheered
Yeah.
next year at the draft because of this.
Mhm. Yeah, if Watson gets a
Yeah.
real suspension, I will be one of the people cheering for Goodell. I've always thought the booing Goodell was corny, but I will cheer for that man if
I think that's
they do the
a
right thing with
sports
Watson.
tradition, though.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that.
it's your tradition, but I still think it's a little corny.
No, one thing I thought
I
was
think they
really
do it in
cool.
the NBA, too.
I
With Adam
one
Silver.
Really?
one one
I thought they
thing that
like Silver over there.
No, they like everybody. I mean, other commissioners are fine, but they just boo him anyway.
Fair enough.
one
I
thing
guess
I
that's fair.
thought one thing I thought was cool about Goodell is I think it might have been, yeah, because it was the draft before COVID. They were singing "Sweet Caroline," and he couldn't even do like the first overall pick because they kept singing "Sweet Caroline." It might have been
I do
it
remember
was
that.
either it was either the one that was in Nashville before COVID, or it was the one like after COVID, the first one after COVID. I'm not 100% sure.
I do remember that happening. That was fun. But yeah, I'm not a Goodell fan. I don't like the man. I don't boo him though, because like I said, I think that's corny. But he, let me put it this way: I am a massive supporter and advocate for women in sports, especially the NFL, because that's like my league.
Mm-hmm.
And the NFL is trying to push that right now. They did a summit or a conference earlier in the summer where
Mm-hmm.
each team sent 2 representatives to go meet with potential female employees. You know, whether it was assistant coaches, scouts, people to be in management positions, whatever. The whole point of it was to get teams introduced to women that are qualified to work these jobs, which is great. That was fantastic. I gave the NFL its roses for that. I was so proud of them for that. And then we turn around 2 months later and we're giving the biggest sexual predator this league has ever seen a 6 game suspension. It doesn't make any sense.
See,
And
and
I
this
know it wasn't Rodgers doing there, but still, to let that slide, or even consider letting that slide, it's ridiculous.
And if I'm not wrong, the NFLPA is a group made up of current NFL, is a group made up of like
Players.
former players
Yeah.
and current players, right?
I think it's just players. I might
Yeah.
be
Okay.
wrong, though.
I think there's still former players in it as well, but yeah, guys who have they've played in the league at some point. Like J.C. Tretter's the president, I believe.
And if I'm wrong, I might not, I might be wrong on this, but isn't the NFL Players Association actually trying to appeal a ban at all, like to get
Yes,
him just
Yeah,
completely
they
because they
don't.
banned?
want Watson playing week 1.
Yeah, they want Watson playing week 1. Yeah.
And that's everybody in like the league, or is that just like
It's not everybody in the league. It's
higher
the
ups?
NFLPA. It
Uh,
is made up of current and former players, but they're elected. It's not like every single NFL player is a member of like the council, so to speak, for the NFLPA. And the
Imagine,
council, or the higher ups, like you said, are the ones that are trying to get
imagine
him
that
back
you're at
in.
the council talking about the Deshaun Watson situation. Out of nowhere, Logan Woodside speaks up. He wants to say, I've been a backup quarterback for 7 years. I deserve my say."
Oh my God.
Side
Logan
Nick
might say,
Woodside's like the town
Nick,
drunk that speaks up at the city council meeting.
Nick Foles was a backup and he won a Super Bowl. I can do it too.
Nick Foles probably has a
you
seat
got a
on the
question
council.
though.
Oh,
Stepping
jeez.
away from like the serious stuff about Deshaun Watson, what would Logan Woodside say?
Man, Logan Woodside would say, man, send me to Cleveland.
I can do what Baker did. Fuck it. Send me to Cleveland. I'm better
I
than
thought
Brissett.
Baker never threw 5,000 yards in college. What the
Did
hell?
Logan Woodside throw 5,000 yards in college?
Yeah, he threw. It was either
Senior
high.
year.
It was either no, it wasn't senior. It was junior year. It was either high 4,000 or high 5,000 because I remember I looked it up
No, it
after.
was low
Oh,
5,000. I
damn.
think I remember 5,019,
Yeah,
something
but
like that.
yeah,
Because
that's
remember you were looking it up for this hype video you were doing, you know?
yeah. I was doing a comparison in college between Logan and Malik because there's no stats to compare Logan in the league. There's nothing. There's like one
Right.
pass. So I'm like, well, what am I
He
supposed to
completed
do?
at
Funny.
least?
It was a 1 yard pass, and it was the only pass caught by NWI his rookie season. Nick
Hell
Westbrook.
yeah. See, look, they're already developing chemistry earlier with Woodside and NWI. Trying to get him on the field this year when Tannehill starts shitting the bed. Uh, I just I hate this whole Deshaun Watson situation. I can't believe he got away with it legally, like in terms of criminal cases. I shouldn't say I can't believe it. I do believe it because our country has no idea how to handle that kind of stuff.
Were
For
they criminal cases?
I
No,
mean, they were initially, but he didn't get to go to court over them because there wasn't sufficient evidence because it was like they claim that he said she said because it was behind closed doors, no camera, no DNA evidence, no photographic evidence, no video evidence, anything like that.
if I'm
So he
not
didn't.
Okay.
if I'm not wrong, didn't they do the same thing about Robert Kraft in like 2017 or 18? They didn't have no
I don't know.
physical
I
evidence.
need to look more into the Kraft thing, but I do
It
know that
was
Kraft is a creep.
it was post AFC Championship against the Chiefs when they went to overtime, and uh, I had seen it on my local news. They were saying like he not extorted. I don't know what I'm thinking of. He said a mafia boss. Um, they
Shoot, they're up.
it was the
They're up
same thing. It was
near
a
the.
massage parlor though.
Yeah, that's what I
Mm.
thought. They're up near New
But I don't.
York. They're not. They're up near New York. Robert Kraft might be involved in the mafia. You never know. Boston.
I mean, yeah, he's an old man that lives in
Mm.
Boston and has a bunch of money. Odds are he has some sort of ties. Even if he's not directly involved, he knows a guy or two.
If you organize the letters right in NFL, Illuminati confirmed.
He had Aaron Hernandez on his team.
Oh my.
But but
Forget he was the singular guy who he was the one singular guy who wanted Aaron Hernandez there.
but
I
yeah,
think.
but yeah, like we take our podcast much less serious, David. But like we really did need to talk about the Deshaun Watson situation because that like the NFL has been very much pro acceptance with the Carl Nassib thing. This is another thing I don't think people's talking about enough. The fact that, and I don't know, maybe it's talent wise, but the fact that Carl's not signed to a team, I think is
No, Carl
ridiculous.
has the talent. I made a TikTok about that like a month ago, actually. It wasn't a big TikTok. I had this little series I do. I haven't done one in a while. It's like late night thoughts or whatever, and I just kind of ramble about a random topic. And one of, I was talking about, I called it the LGBTQ rabbit hole in the NFL, where I was talking about like all the unstraight players that have played. And in that video, I was like vocally upset about Nassib not having a job. He is at the very least a solid depth piece. There are plenty of teams that could use him as a rotational defensive end. And I'm not going to jump to conclusions and say he doesn't have a job because of his sexuality, but it wouldn't shock me given the NFL's history. I mean, we saw what they did with Michael Sam.
Michael Sam was arguably a first to second round pick, and he got drafted in the seventh
Mhm.
round.
I don't
Yeah.
even think he made that team that year.
No, he didn't make the
Nope.
Rams, and he
Yeah.
went to Canada and played
Yeah.
some up there and retired like a couple of years ago.
You want to know something that just randomly hit my head?
Mm.
What's going on with the Raiders? Like, let's see, they have Henry Ruggs, who just got arrested for vehicular manslaughter, I guess.
Uh,
I
Yeah.
don't remember the charges. Then you got Damon Arnett, who's getting arrested multiple times.
Hmm.
And then you got them cutting Carl Nassib, and some people are trying to call it homophobic.
And
and
then
then
you
you
got
Um,
John Gruden, who was with the team and made all those remarks
exactly.
that cost him his job.
Right.
now
Man,
now
the
I don't
Raiders need more of an investigation, man,
I
because it
don't
just
know
seems
really
way too.
I don't know how to handle the Gruden situation. Like I didn't really look into it a lot, but I really don't know how to handle the Gruden situation because arguably, like coaching wise, Gruden deserves a job in the NFL. If that doesn't happen, he deserves to coach somewhere.
Hmm.
But you can't like the world 10 years ago is a different place than the world is now. Like if you go back and look at some YouTube videos that YouTubers uploaded 10 years ago, if they uploaded those
Sorry.
nowadays, they're getting canceled and they're like,
Yeah.
and now you got to
New
think,
star.
and now you got to think of John Gruden's never going to be able to call a game again. And that's what I think you really could use him as because I thought he was a good caller before he got rehired with the Raiders. Like he was a good announcer, and he's never going to be able to do that again. If I'm not wrong, he's suing the NFL, so he's never getting a job again. So
Yeah.
he could go coach college league, but I don't think any college will hire him.
He'll
It's
coach Bam after Saban retires.
The thing with Gruden is he made like openly racist remarks, and it wasn't just like, offhanded making a joke. Like he was, what was it he said? He said the NFLPA head at the time had like the lips the size of Michelin tires or something, which is an extremely offensive stereotype.
Ah,
Yeah, like it's not just like, he was making a like, dang, you're so gay joke. Like he was being legitimately uh what's the word I want to look for here?
racist.
Homophobic, racist, misogynist. Like he made a lot of comments about the women. Like I would get it if it was
if it was said
offhand comment or
jokingly,
something,
yeah.
but like he was legitimately being a degenerate. So
I think
Yeah.
I think when they actually send that to like laws and like when they actually get like lawyers involved and stuff, and the rest of those conversations come out, a lot of owners and a lot of coaches are going to look bad in those situations.
I think this is going to turn into a full blown NFL investigation in the future.
Because if I'm
they
not
got
wrong, the
do it.
if I'm not wrong, the emails were to Jay when he was the coach of Washington Commanders, right?
It was
His
it was
brother,
either
Jay Gruden?
Jay, it was either his brother or Dan Snyder. I can't remember which one, but it
But
was
it was
someone within Washington. Yeah,
yeah, I want to say it was why his brother was the coach in Washington. I want to say that
it
makes
might have
sense.
been. But
That would make
no, no,
sense
no,
why.
no. It was definitely to Dan Snyder because when they uncovered the messages, it was when they started the Dan Snyder investigation. They found all the Gruden stuff during that because they got access to Snyder's email history.
Yeah, you're right. I was just drawing the connection because his brother
Yeah,
Jay
yeah, yeah.
was.
I got you. Yeah, it's an obvious connection to make. No, you're right. I only knew that because I also am very vocal against Dan Snyder existing. So,
I don't know nothing
I've
about
been
Dan
I've been
Snyder.
I've been
oh,
vocal.
hold on, hold on. Let me tell you about Dan Snyder, okay? This man, he faked he lied about the amount of money the team is making off of ticket sales because at the end of the year you take a certain percentage of your ticket sales and put it into like a pot that gets distributed evenly amongst the league. That way if any teams are like, underperforming, they're not going to go bankrupt or go under. It's to keep everybody
So,
afloat. Well,
so
Gruden
you're
lied
telling
about
me he's the reason salary cap's going down?
I mean, I wouldn't say that. No, it's more for the
I
I'm
was
looking
joking on that, but
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. But yeah, he lied about how much money the team made. And on top of that, he's known for pimping out the Washington cheerleaders. Like he will send them
no.
on yeah, he will send them on business trips with his
I've heard that.
associates as companions, and we all know what that leads to. And he's also like forced them to pose for naked photos, to make calendars out of them, to send out to people as like a welcoming gift for like sponsoring or working with the Washington Commanders. Like he's sick. He's legitimately sick, and the NFL is like deeply investigating him right now. And he's been like summoned for court a couple times. So the dude got on his boat and is sitting out in the middle of the ocean saying, you can't force me to do anything." He like said he was going to show up for court and then didn't. So he's a real piece of shit. He's up there with like Robert Kraft and Watson.
Like I've been I've been very vocal that I think that it has to have something to do with Dan Snyder. The reason Washington's not a successful squad, they have so much talent on their team. It's genuinely insane. The
It's just like, oh,
they're
sorry,
a
go ahead.
they're a quarterback, and me and Valente have said this about the Pittsburgh Steelers. If Kenny Pickett or whoever the starting quarterback is a decent quarterback, that team could be a dynasty for the next 5 to 10 years. I think that about Pittsburgh. Washington needs a quarterback, and then you got to think you got Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel. You've got I think their tight end is an issue too. I'm not a big fan of Logan Thomas personally.
You don't like
Their
Ricky
tight end
Seals-Jones?
too. No, they've got a younger guy. I can't remember his name for the life of me that I really like.
Ricky
I,
Seals.
No, it's not Ricky Seals-Jones. It's another kid. He's a real good blocker, and he showed flashes last year being a playmaker.
I thought when they got Thaddeus as a undrafted free agent, I thought, man, they about to go crazy with Thaddeus.
Thaddeus Moss.
Yeah, because I saw Thaddeus go off against Clemson in the national championship game with LSU. He had like 3 touchdowns.
Is he still in Cincy?
I don't know where. I don't understand
No.
because
Oh,
I don't think he has a team right now.
no. They were trying him out at like a hybrid fullback tight end role in Cincy a little bit, and then Zach Taylor came in and he's very anti fullback, so that stopped. John
my God,
Bates
no, you're
is the
right
name
about
of the kid I
fullbacks.
was thinking
Oh,
of.
yeah,
he is.
big John Bates. They got Big John Bates
Bates.
from Boise
Yeah.
State. Because when I was watching Khalil Shakir, because I told you I was a big fan of Khalil Shakir. We talked about that in the Titans one. When I was
Yeah.
watching Shakir, almost every play when Shakir caught a pass, the lead blocker for Shakir was Big John Bates, and like the
Bates, he's an excellent blocker, but last year there were times where he legitimately looked like he had upside as a playmaker. If they can develop him a little bit, he can be a really nice tight end.
talking about tight ends, we're gonna get into that when we do the hot and spicy takes in a little bit.
Oh no. Okay.
Because I have a tight end that's like a younger guy too. He was a rookie last year that I think could be top 5, top 10 at the end of next year.
Okay, and it's not Kyle Pitts, I
It
assume.
no,
No.
it's not Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was gonna
but
say because I
I
feel like he should be consensus top 5 already.
no, that's what
Yeah,
I
I
was.
was gonna say he already is.
Okay.
No, because
I hate the Falcons. I can't talk good about the Falcons ever, and I have to say that.
no, because
Yeah,
I think the Falcons have 2 guys that are top 5, top 10 at their positions, and that's Kyle Pitts and AJ Terrell. Because
absolutely.
AJ Terrell is insane. And I thought AJ was good too because he came from Clemson as well. And there was the national championship play where the very first play of the game was the Tua interception pick six, and the Trevor Lawrence. So at least I still have the Trevor Lawrence national championship. That's not tainted by Deshaun Watson, except he flipped the coin in it. But besides that,
Don't watch
don't.
the coin toss. Like I said,
Yeah,
just cut
Yeah, I
off
mean,
whatever
I'm
parts
pretty sure the
Washington's
coin
involved in.
toss isn't. Pretty
I.
sure the coin toss isn't on TV. I may be
But
wrong.
I really hope that they don't bring Deshaun back for like any meeting, like any like events during the season. I don't think you
I
can.
mean, they're not going to with everything surrounding him. There's no chance in hell.
At least not
You
this
want to hear a
year.
joke?
At least not this
Hopefully
year.
this isn't too dark.
God,
But
go for it.
so I saw this progressive commercial recently. You know, the At Home with Baker Mayfield. You know, they did one last commercial where Baker Mayfield was moving out, and Deshaun Watson was walking up. He said, "Hey, I just moved into the neighborhood, down the street. I'm legally required to let you know that I'm a sex offender."
That's good.
Yeah, that was I think that was a TikTok because I think I saw that too. But yeah,
I saw it on the NFL memes Instagram.
but yeah, David, you're a real big like inspiration for why we started this, and while I'm really trying to get what we're gonna start doing is we're gonna start taking the clips from the bye week podcast and we're gonna upload them on TikTok. Hopefully, because TikTok's the main way to.
Yeah, see, I gotta do that too, but I'm just fucking lazy.
Yeah, me too. We've recorded 2 and I haven't went through and clipped any of them. So
Yeah. And I've got some good clips too of me just yelling nonsense. Like I get real angry on our podcast. I don't know how familiar you are with that side of my content.
Um,
But
me
like
and
I have gone on full on rants about different players and
I
whatnot that
was
I think would be good for
we
TikTok clips.
we were talking about stuff for this podcast, me and Valente earlier, and we got into a debate over Allen Robinson, and
Oh
it
yeah.
got
It
and
kind of got a little heated.
What was the
because
argument?
I said if you erase last season, Allen Robinson is a top 5 to 10 wide receiver.
I think he's just outside of the top 10, but I see where you're coming
That's
from.
what I tried to tell him. No, but see, this is this thing. There is this thing I like to do.
And
So
I also said another thing. I said no. This is where it led to, because I don't really
Okay.
want to spoil my hot and spicy takes, but one of them was about the
Okay.
Los Angeles Rams, and I said the Los Angeles Rams are a better team this year than they were last year. Robert Woods is a better receiver than Allen Robinson. I would say, even as a Titans fan, even though I think Bobby Trees is really going to go
the other
off
way
this
around.
year.
That's what you said.
Oh yeah,
You said Allen Robinson's better.
yeah. That's what I. Is that not what I came off as saying?
You said, you said Robert Woods is better.
But okay, Allen Robinson is better than Robert Woods. I would say. I
Mhm.
would say, and I think the statistics show that. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, he is absolutely. If you watch, I mean, I'm not a big stats guy, big film guy, and on film, it's very apparent. Allen Robinson is like the complete package in terms of a wide receiver. He's just not very quick. He's
And I
got
know,
everything else though.
and I know, I'm probably going to get hate for this. As like the huge Titan fan I am, a lot of people that watch my content are Titans fans. So no, I don't hate Robert Woods, and he is, in my opinion, the perfect receiver for our offense. There is no receiver that I would say in the NFL that doesn't fit our offense and what we want to do more. He's the best blocking receiver in the league.
He's up there.
Robert
I don't know
Woods.
if I'd call him the best.
Robert. I would say Robert Woods is the best blocking
I
receiver in
think
the league.
you've got guys like Cooper Cup who might be a little bit better. Justin Jefferson has an argument. Hell, even and maybe this is a little bit of Bears bias, but like Byron Pringle is one of the best blocking receivers in football. Believe it or
I
not,
I
he's
agree with
absolutely
that too.
incredible.
I agree with that too. I want to
Maybe
get. I
maybe
want
he's not better than Robert Woods, but I would definitely say Cup and Jefferson have a strong case over him. But
to.
I mean, he's top three either way, so your statement's not wrong. He does fit the Titans' offense perfectly.
And I don't want to make this too much Titans based, but we didn't get a chance to really talk about this guy when we were doing when I was on the by week. I mean the Ball Knowers podcast with
Podcast,
you,
yeah.
and we didn't get really a chance to talk about this guy because he wasn't really flashing in camp. And also, Traylon Burks has been flashing in
I know where
camp
this is going.
as
Good.
much
I'm
as
I know
glad.
where this is going.
you said you weren't a
Listen,
fan.
I'm
Traylon's
not.
doing good, bro.
I have very mixed feelings towards Traylon Burks because looking at him like on tape, he's good, but he's not as good as what I feel like people think he is. I didn't like him as a first round pick, but like also I think I said it on the podcast. Me and him are both asthmatic, so I've got a little bit of
Me
bias
too.
towards them.
Me too.
Me three. So we're the asthma podcast.
Yeah.
I bet it was so 6 months, 6 months
But
old. I was going to say 6 months, years.
but anyway, I would argue that I would have liked us to take Roger in the first round and then Traylon in the second. I think Roger was the first round pick. He's played so well in the in training camp
Roger
too.
McCreary. Oh,
Yeah,
really
he's
has it good. I like
he's
McCreary.
so good. He picked off Ryan Tannehill today. It's Ryan's first pick in the training camp, and he threw it to
Anybody
Roger.
could pick off Ryan
Second.
Tannehill. Let's not act like
Second.
that's a huge accomplishment. I could
Hey,
pick off
look.
Ryan
Okay.
Tannehill if I wanted to.
Bro, Ryan's not that bad.
Put
People
me
hate
out
on him
there.
way
Put
too
me out
much.
there. I'm making the Bengals defense's performance against Ryan Tannehill look like nothing. Simply better.
Bro,
I was
he's
going to
not.
say
Dog
something.
Ryan Tannehill.
Bro, when
Y'all
Ryan
see my profile picture?
when
I'm a
Ryan
Saints fan. Jameis
Jameis.
Winston hasn't thrown one in camp yet. Tannehill's thrown
Fight
two.
Jameis. I like how the
Fight
Saints
me.
are decked this year. I think the Saints have a real shot at surprising some people. I
um
like them a lot. Hold on, real quick. What are your thoughts
You're
on
the
Pete
only
Werner?
one.
What are your thoughts on Pete Werner?
Okay. So I think he's exactly what we need. If Quan wasn't the guy, I think he's the only one that can take over that spot because we need that coverage linebacker. Demario's not the coverage linebacker. P. Werner
is there another
showed
one?
that last year that he's good in coverage.
Really, I got a
I
different
think
vibe from
he's
Pete
the
Werner.
best option. I think he's the best option that's not Quan Alexander.
I didn't get a coverage vibe from Pete Werner last year. Maybe I need to go back and rewatch him, but he seemed like kind of subpar in coverage and really, really dominant against the run. That was my takeaway on him. And I think he can improve in coverage. I'm not saying like he's going to suck in coverage. He's got all the tools to get better because coverage for linebackers is just a lot of knowing where you need to be and keeping up with a running back or tight end. And he has the speed and athleticism to do that. So I think he can improve as a coverage backer. But I don't think he
That's
showed that
kind of
he's
what they
like
have him on in camp, because
a
that's what Quan was for us. Was like the
right.
kind of like the coverage linebacker in a sense, but he was also that like major run stopper.
Yeah, oh my God, he's incredible against the run.
I
Um,
know.
So good. I love Pete Werner, dude. I'm a Pete Werner stan.
um, being we talked a little bit about the Titans and the Saints, I want to get into some Bears stuff with you because we talked a little bit. I think we did the Titans podcast is like almost as soon as Nikhil got traded, and
Yeah.
now he's down with like an injury. I want to see how you feel about that
I
because
mean,
Oh,
because
at the
I
end of the
actually
day,
I don't.
I'll go ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
Um, I don't know if you saw the news, but the injury, it wasn't as bad as what they thought it was.
Yeah, it was a high
They thought it
ankle
was
sprain, I
season
believe.
ending.
It was a high
Yeah.
ankle sprain.
So
Even though it's not
now,
season ending, it might end his season just because he
look,
was fighting for a job as is, and now he's not going to be in camp to fight for that job. So if somebody really impresses, there's a chance he just doesn't make the roster because
Shoot,
of it.
With Kyrie's athleticism, put him at receiver. Going somewhere else.
look, I experience with the high ankle sprains with my receivers. Okay, I'm just
MT
gonna say
knows
it
a lot
now.
about some high ankle
Look,
sprains.
high ankle sprain can look like 6 to 8 weeks. It'll turn into
Mm.
2 years as soon as you know it.
Mhm.
Okay, it's on. Like I can't say anymore. Michael Thomas showed that 6 weeks can turn into 2 years.
I Yes, we traded a seventh round pick for him. If he doesn't play, I don't care. It is what it is. It's
No,
not a big deal.
I really see. That's probably my biggest miss at because I Nikhil's draft was the first one where I was like, where I was really looking deep into it, making videos on it. That's probably my biggest miss I've had because I actually thought he was genuinely really good at Arizona State.
Looked
I've
incredible in college.
And like
Because the way
I've made 2 videos saying another team should trade for him. It's Bill Belichick. It has nothing to do with Nikhil. Put him in a different system. He might succeed. And he got traded to the Bears, and I was like, this is it. My I'm gonna get redeemed. High ankle sprain. Good job with that one.
I mean, if he's on the field,
If you put him on
looking
injury
to
reserve, he can't get cut, right?
Yeah.
believe, yeah. But look, I mean, if he gets out there, if he does play, if I'm wrong about the whole him missing his opportunity in camp thing, he doesn't have a lot to beat out to get PT. So if he comes back mid-season, and Chicago's probably at that point already like, okay, we just need to buckle down and get ready for next year. I'm sure they're in that mindset right now. Um, but if they're at that point, it wouldn't surprise me to see Harry get some snaps late in the
That
year if he
is
does stick around.
that is the same reason, reason right there about PT. That is the reason, and we're getting back to him. I should have brought this up earlier when we were talking about him. That's the reason I think Traylon's going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year because of PT.
I
Because
don't I don't know about all that.
him or Drake London, because Drake London's going to get a lot of PT.
See, I don't think it's going to be either of them. I got my money on Brees Hall.
I got my money on Kenneth Walker.
I can see that.
Yeah,
He's going
Don't tell that to
into.
Seahawks fans though, because they'll cry because Rashad Penny's apparently the second coming of Adrian Peterson.
I feel bad for Chris
What?
Carson.
Yeah, Rashad Penny had a stretch of like 6 or 7 games last year where he looked
Where he
absolutely
was,
incredible.
he was really good.
Oh,
Yeah,
He's a good
who's on
running
the
back.
comeback player of the year? We can go over this too later, but we'll go over like the award predictions because I'm pretty sure that's something we haven't done yet.
yeah. A lot of like last season's not even like there for Valente because Valente wasn't like awake. He was he
Yeah,
had,
okay. To put it into long story short, I was in a coma from end of December to mid January. So
Damn.
yeah. COVID's a crazy thing.
yeah,
We're in a coma because of COVID?
Yeah.
yeah. So I
Holy
couldn't breathe on
shit.
my own really, and they thought it was best to like put me on a CPAP, and that didn't work. So they decided to put me
It
under a
was
lot of anesthetic and
Yeah,
sedation medicines.
it
Like
was a medical induced thing.
yeah,
Awful.
So
You
I
better
was
now?
basically put in the coma. Yeah, I'm fine now. Except I have a completely dead nerve in my left foot. So
You can't feel your left foot at all?
nope. You could step on my foot, you could shoot me, and I won't feel it till about 3 or 4 hours later.
Hey, I mean, at least you got a cool party trick. Walk through and stub your
True.
toe on every piece of furniture. Don't bat an eye. People will think you're the second coming of Christ.
But
Who says
yeah,
I'm not Christ himself?
That's what I'm saying. You can convince people you are if you can stub your toe on every piece of furniture and not flinch.
I've just noticed something. I'm gonna guess, David, that you're a massive Marvel fan because the Captain America shirt, and if I'm not wrong, that's a Captain America poster behind you, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Marvel. Ironically, I'm actually more of a DC fan, but I do love Captain America.
My favorite Marvel guy has always been Loki. Loki's my dude. Like, cause I like anti-heroes, cause Venom's my guy
Right.
too. Like Venom's my dude. I own like all the collector sets for the Venom DVDs. Hawkeye is my guy too, but he's also kind of like an anti-hero kind of
Yeah.
thing. I have funny thing about that. I actually I went to we're going off on a little Marvel tangent, but I went to a flea market a couple of years ago, and like not expecting to find anything Marvel there. Like I think I was getting some new furniture because I'm a broke college student. But anyway,
Valid.
but I went in there and there's this glass case at the very beginning, and there was this laminated Volume 1 comic book from the 1960s of Hawkeye, and it's laminated, and it was $5. I bought it, got home. I think it's 7,000 and like $400, and I haven't touched it. I don't know what to do with it. It scares me.
Sell
Like
it.
Answer and
Read it and
sell
then
it.
sell it.
Yeah.
no,
Don't
because
even
it
read
Read
it.
it and
Just
sell
sell
it.
it.
Or don't
no,
even read
because
it. Yeah, you could just
no,
go out there.
because if you keep it and it gets better over time,
It's not
Real
going to get
quick, real
better over
quick, real
time.
quick. Saints guy, do I draft Chris Olave in fantasy?
Just depends who you got right now.
I need a fourth receiver. Do I take Olave?
Um,
I would say yeah. I think he's
who's
gonna
on the
play.
board? Who's on the
All
board?
right. Olave, Elijah Moore, Juju, Sky Moore, Hunter Renfro.
Is Olave gonna
I'd
get?
say Hunter Renfro or Olave.
Yeah,
I'm not a big fantasy guy. I don't know who's good for fantasy.
So it
I
just
would
depends
say
what type of league you're in.
I would
If
say
you're in
I don't know what type of
PPR,
league I'm in. I have no idea.
I would
points per
probably
reception, or
go Hunter because I think it's more
Ooh,
reliable.
Michael
But
Thomas and Allen Robinson are here though too.
oh, then get
see, I don't know about that.
yeah, because if MT's here, then you got to get MT because as long as MT plays, I think MT is the top 5 receiver.
No, is MT meant to play?
Yeah,
I haven't paid
Yeah,
attention to Saints
he,
camp.
he's doing amazing in camp right now.
All right, I
Amazing.
took MT. Like I said, I don't know
Really
anything
big
about
me.
fantasy, but some of my friends are making
neither
good
and
use.
neither am I. I've bullshitted my way to the final like 4 of the last 2 years in a row. The only
Our
reason
friend Dakota, he got so lucky. He
our
drafted Jonathan Taylor last year,
and no
and Jonathan Taylor was not even like a top 200 pick
Damn.
at the time.
and he
Because, Jonathan Taylor was nothing, really.
yeah, they didn't
Yeah.
even think JT was going to start at Indianapolis because remember they had Marlon Mack and Naheem Hines.
Yeah.
They didn't even think he was going to start. They drafted him as like a depth piece. But anyway, that's a perfect time. Is your draft almost done, David? Because I'm gonna go through my team.
I've got
Yeah,
another fantasy team I can run through. This draft just got started.
the way that I'm thinking about it, if you're around the picks of MT and Olave and them are getting picked at, you should be, I'd say maybe 7 or 8 rounds in, maybe.
We're in round 9, but this league is going. It's a dynasty league, so it's 23 rounds.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. I'm I'm good though. I'm deep in my bag in terms of knowing what late round rookies are going to be good or who I think is going to be good. So happy for your
I
boy
can
Chicken
give you
Conquo, by
a
the way.
rundown.
Me
You know
too,
how
bro.
fantasy works, though, right?
Cut.
I mean, I know you got to get like you draft your receivers and running backs first, and they
Yeah.
score more for you than your quarterbacks and things like that. And
David,
you wait till the very end to get a defense.
I'm gonna read you a
Yep.
tweet that got sent into my friend Valente and my friend Dakota's group chat, and it's a
Okay.
Titan related tweet, but I
Okay.
wanna see how you feel because we all three agree. Valente, do you agree with this tweet, the one that Dakota sent? about the.
Yeah, I could see it.
Okay,
I could see that.
okay. Let me get to it. I'm gonna try to get to it.
Rashad Penny was on the board. I should have taken him and not played him to piss everybody off.
I was looking at some Traylon Burke tweets earlier because somebody sent him a picture of like them catching the ball on the beach and they were like, Traylon, how does this look? And he was like, yo, it looks good, cuh. I think he's like a really good like kid, young. Like you're not gonna see Traylon Burks go and ride 150 miles an hour through Nashville, hit a woman, and go to jail. Hunter,
And her dog.
Whoa.
Don't forget the dog was in the car.
yeah,
Yeah, and the
you know,
car is
Nobody
on
wants
fire.
to talk about the dog. Nobody wants to talk
Yeah.
about the dog that died. A dog died too. 2 lives were
You know what?
taken.
I got a
Okay.
question. If you have 5 subscribers on YouTube, can you do a fundraiser?
I
what
have no clue.
If you can, animal abuse. That's our fundraiser.
animal abuse?
Oh my god.
Anyway, the tweet is the main reason people give for the Titans' downfall is AJ Brown being gone. Personally, I don't see any way that Robert Woods, Traylon Burks, Kyle Phillips, Chigga Conquo, and Austin Hooper aren't an upgrade over AJ Brown, an injured Julio Jones, Anthony Ferguson, and Jeff Swain. Who Jeff Swain's still on the team though. So
I mean, I think it's definitely an upgrade, but that isn't my reason for the Titans' fall off, so to speak.
I
I
think
don't
a
think
lot
it'll
of
be that
people
AJ Brown.
I think a lot of people give it that Matt Ryan is on the Indianapolis Colts now. And I can see that, but with
I mean, you have a team that was a quarterback away last year, adding a top 15 guy at the position. That's kind of hard to beat.
the problem with Indianapolis is very much that they're in 2020, their offensive line was top tier. Last year, it took a very noticeable step back.
They also had guys out, didn't they?
Yeah, that was the
Nelson
main.
was the first
That was
couple years, or
that was
first
the
couple
main.
games, and
That was the main
yeah.
problem, and like they had a lot of guys out on the offensive line, and a lot of people say Carson Wentz played so bad. He got killed behind that offensive line with the like he didn't play great either, but like he got killed, and a lot of people talk about how Ryan had a down year. Ryan was the second most sacked quarterback in the league last year.
Yeah,
Matt Ryan's never had a good offensive line though.
Matt Ryan can play without a good offensive line. I'm not worried about that at all. They have a better offensive line than what he's had most of his career right now. So
Oh
I don't think that's a big deal.
no! I wasn't talking about Matt Ryan. I was talking about Ryan Tannehill. He was the second
Oh.
most sacked quarterback last year.
Nobody cares about Ryan Tannehill. We're talking about real quarterbacks here, not game managers.
They're gonna care when he wins a Super Bowl. I'm joking.
I will
Garoppolo went
say,
to a Super Bowl.
I've got to be hopeful, bro. I can't just.
listen, I'll give Tannehill a little credit. One of my hotter takes is that he's on the same tier as Kirk Cousins, which that's more of a diss at Kirk Cousins than it is Ryan
Well,
Tannehill. But
No, I just saw a tweet earlier that said like I saw a tweet from you earlier. I'm gonna find it while y'all talk about
yeah,
this.
and it's probably the tweet that everyone misinterpreted as Dak Prescott slander, right?
Yeah.
That was meant to be Dak praise. That was me trying to say that Dak is very clearly way better than Kirk Cousins, but it got misinterpreted and blew up because Nico liked it.
Elite takes.
Yeah,
Nico. I love him.
me and him are
No gay
mutuals.
stuff, but
We
I love him.
we go back and forth a good bit.
But yeah, I don't know. YouTube's weird. We're gonna have some content creator discussion right here because
Okay.
YouTube's weird because I was uploading like what I would say like I went out and bought a computer recently for I believe it was for my no, it might have been for Christmas. Either way, I went out and bought a computer so I could make much better content. Like because my content back in the day when I would talk about like depth charts or I would show depth charts on the screen, everything would look super blurry and it'd be slow because I was running on like a $200 computer. It was terrible. But those
Yeah.
videos would get like 2,000-3,000 views, and it was kind of because I was clickbaiting of why. Let me give a video. Why the Chicago Bears will win the Super Bowl in 2022. That was my video, and the whole video was just a season predictor video.
Right.
Like it was.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is. You were clickbaiting. That's why you're getting so many views.
But now, like okay, all right. I kind of feel bad because I clickbaited a video recently, and I know it's kind of like a
Why
scumbag.
Ryan Tannehill will make the Hall of Fame? Is that what it was?
No, because that's a
Oh,
series I'm doing.
He was looking for hate on that video.
Yeah, I said it before I posted it. And arguably, legitly, I didn't get as much hate as because people understood the video idea. The video wasn't saying he was a Hall of Famer now. It was simulating the rest of
Henry.
his career. And
Derrick Henry out for preseason. That's
yeah,
the one.
that's what it was. I put Derrick Henry is out for preseason because Mike Vrabel came out and said Derrick won't play a snap during the preseason. And I was like, got it. And I think I put a skull and crossbones like over Derrick's face, and I was like, I got this. And that video did good. And your videos have been doing decent, doing really good.
They've been up and down. I think my problem is all these team previews have been way too long, and people aren't going to sit through 2-3 hour videos. But like, I don't have the capabilities to really trim things down, and I don't like trimming down podcast episodes because that feels very pointless. Like, it's a podcast; it's supposed to be like a raw conversation. It isn't a video essay.
But yeah, you
But
like, I can see what you're saying. Like for example, 6 days ago, I uploaded a video for my Where Are They Now series. Like I do a Titans Where Are They Now series, and it was on Kerry Collins. I don't know if you know who that is, but
I know who Kerry Collins is. Yeah.
but it was on Kerry Collins, and that got 26. And then I uploaded a video 2 days ago, a Kyle Phillips hype video, and that got 700. So it's up and down.
I think you're even ahead of me in terms of or ahead of us in terms of subs, if I'm not mistaken.
Valente's ahead of
podcast or him.
No, our podcast only has 5, but me I have 420. Valente's ahead of me. He's got 1,000.
See, we're only 200.
Yeah, but if I'm not wrong, you haven't been doing content that long. I've been doing content like on and off for like 2 years.
In terms of YouTube, yeah, we've only been doing it since January. I've been doing TikTok for like 2 years.
I got a question though.
What?
So I don't know like how on earth, I don't know how it's possible because I'm not like that type of I guess you could say like the go-getter, I guess, where otherwise you got what's his name? Urinating Tree on a podcast. How do you do
I just
this?
shot him a DM. I literally DM'd him and he was like, "Yeah, man, I'll come on. Give me a time and date." And I was like, "All right, bet. What works for you?" And he gave me a time and I was like, "We can do that." Got him. I got Theo Ash. I got Brett Coleman, which was like a bucket list item for me. I'm a huge Brett Coleman fan. He's my inspiration when it comes to making football content.
I forgot the dude, but we were on the podcast that I did with you, and there was a dude that is a comedian. I actually went on and watched some of his stuff. He's actually pretty good. Yeah,
Noah.
yeah, he's actually
Oh
pretty
no, I
good.
thought it was Colton. My bad.
Yeah, he's actually pretty good. Like,
Yeah, he is funny. I watched a little bit of his stand up too. He's a funny dude.
because
You could tell that during the podcast. He was cracking jokes.
I was gonna say it showed. I was gonna say it showed that entire time.
no, because like at the very end when he said he was a comedian, that kind of like took me off guard. I was like, hold up, what? But because I expected like the majority of people that would see see the video where you were asking for people, because that's TikTok really helped me out with that, because TikTok recommended that video to recommend the video to me, and it was like immediately after you had made it or something. So I was lucky and got in there early, because I don't think.
Yeah, I was gonna say you were one of the first DMs I got.
Yeah, because I don't think I would have, because I love doing like stuff with other people. Like I did because I did an interview a couple of months back with like because at the time I was trying to do like interviews with like pro wrestlers, because I was going through a phase for a long period of time. It just ended recently, probably about, when did I stop LAWB? Probably about 2 months ago, a month ago.
2 weeks ago.
What
A couple weeks ago, something like that. But yeah, we really need to start like doing that. We need to start like reaching out to people because, you know, you're constantly growing. Just
yeah, you're right. 2 weeks ago. Yeah, Valente's been commenting on this recently. I've been really, like, not to toot my own horn or anything, but some of my videos have got really good views recently.
It's awesome.
But your TikTok blows up a lot, David. Like some of your videos, and I don't understand like that. I wish I would have gotten to TikTok earlier on when people were dogging on it, because now it seems like if you upload a video, it gets lost in the shuffle.
It just kind of depends. You got to hit the right For You pages and whatnot. It is kind of random, but it works. I
What
don't
you
know
don't
how
what you don't want is in like 2 to 3 years, like for TikTok to become how Twitch and YouTube is, where it's really hard to like grow because there's so many
Yeah.
people out there. Like
Yeah, true.
Twitch is impossible. I really believe that Twitch is impossible because
But here's the thing about that TikTok, nobody looks at their following. I've realized that. Nobody looks at following, and it's all about if you make what somebody else is looking for, it shows up
no,
on their For You page.
no, I think David. I mean, I think David really because his like not this is gonna come off like insulting. I don't mean it to. Your face is a
Okay.
clickbait because so people would think that you're like 35 and know what you're talking about and watch like decades of the NFL. Turns out, dude's
How
younger
old
than
are you?
me. Dude's younger than
Well,
me. He's
I
how old are
don't
you?
think
How old are
I.
you?
19.
How old are you?
How old do you think I am?
He's 19.
I would say you're 27.
I'm
Honestly,
19.
He's
really,
younger than
I'm turning
me.
17 in 2 days.
You're
And
not
see,
turning 22 in
I
3
won't
days.
lie. Part of the reason why I haven't shaved in so long is because I feel like people take me more seriously if I have a beard. So I get where you're coming from. I don't disagree.
Like because like I would say I've got like a good beard for my age. Like I had the like similar thing when I was in high school, like where and people would comment because it was weird because nobody else in high school had like beards like this. I felt like I was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and the guys we have a joke about him. We call him ancient.
Yeah, I'm like
He said that he created the dinosaurs.
yeah, I'm like 2 3 years older than everybody in my friend group, and apparently, and then all of a sudden I'm like decades old.
Yeah,
Fair. Yeah.
I'll turn 17 in 2 days. So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I didn't have the beard when I graduated high school. I had a beard going a little bit, but my mom made me get my senior pictures and wanted me shaved for it. So I didn't have a beard when I graduated. And since like May of that would have been 2021, I haven't shaven. So that's why it's so long.
this isn't meant to
Here,
be an insult. I know this is
I
about
don't
to
want
come
to.
off weird.
Oh yeah, go
You're
You
good.
ahead.
look
I
like
don't think
you look like the commercial version of Jesus.
that's a first.
Oh
I've never gotten rip off Jesus before. I think that's what you're going for.
Yeah, let
no, no,
me
no! It's like if there was a commercial about a church, you would be the actor.
just
Okay,
so just so
that one's
So
new. I've never gotten that one before. I'm not taking it as an insult. Don't worry. I
you know,
usually get. Are you guys familiar with Impractical Jokers?
yes.
yeah, if
They
I ever
call
call you
you all the
Gridiron
time.
God,
Good iron God.
Iron God.
That's a good
then
one. Yeah,
you
if
know
we oh
what?
by
That
the
might be
way,
the new nickname.
hold up,
Grid-
Valente. We need to say this because it's not to say it's a bad thing, but it's 2022. We don't want anybody to get offended. If anybody's like really religious, like I'm sorry, we don't. I'm not.
Yeah, no, I don't think that would be taken as an insult. I just have long hair and a beard, and my hair is dark. Like, it's a very basic portrayal of what Jesus looks like according to the church and whatnot. Even though technically Jesus wouldn't be white,
No,
if you want to get
he
really
would have been
technical
like
with it.
he would have been like
He would have been dark. Yeah, he would have
yeah
been darker. Middle
We
Eastern,
got
right?
yeah.
we got some news like very like new news like
Yeah.
as in like 30 seconds ago. And this kind of hits me because I'm a Louisville fan and I love Makai Becton. So
Oh, I did see that.
Makai Becton is expected to miss a significant chunk of 2022 after suffering fractured kneecap.
Okay,
That's so unfortunate, man.
okay. Did we not say the Jets were gonna do better this year, V? Yeah, let's go ahead and change that because that's his blind side. Zach's about to get blasted.
That's
Yeah,
unfortunate, man. He worked his ass off too. He dropped the weight. He put himself in a better situation physically. He
yeah.
put him
um,
in
Weight
a
for him has
better
always been an issue ever since like college because they had to
Just
get
such
him
a
down like a whole
massive
100
dude.
pounds.
You're that
Yeah,
big, it's hard to not retain the weight. He's what, like 6'8", 6'9"?
yeah. And he was like, see,
like
I know a lot about him because of his like time at Louisville because I'm a Louisville fan and I'm from here. So he's always had a problem with being like super overweight, but it was so easy for him to cut down
Yeah.
and like just keep in shape while doing it.
bro, sitting at the looking at the camera, I swear me and Peyton Manning are related,
Oh my god.
bro. Like, I swear, bro. I need that Manning need that Manning
Got you.
bias because Arch has been performing terrible, but he's a 5-star rating because he's a
Has been
Manning.
playing bad. I don't follow high school football.
No, I don't either. But apparently, people on TikToks I've seen, they've been saying he's been playing bad. He threw
It's
like four.
unfortunate.
He threw like 4 picks to one dude, and the dude wasn't even
Yeah.
he didn't have any scholarship offers either. Now he
Oh, he
does.
does.
Yeah.
Texas is not that.
No,
Trust me.
how is a quarterback as a quarterback? How do you throw 4 interceptions to the same person? Like a
Just
bit,
shadowing your number
And
one
there's
guy, and you're way too confident in him.
like eventually
there's
you got
two
to think
people.
I'm just not throwing the ball to that side of the field.
There's two people you can ask that question to. 2021 Ryan Tannehill, 2019 Jameis.
Okay. 2021 Ryan Tannehill didn't throw 4 picks to one person. He threw 4 picks to one team twice. Okay.
3 of them to one
That's enough.
person? Or am I wrong?
No, it wasn't one person. Desmond had 3, and then Justin Reed had 1.
So 3 to 1 person.
Yeah, and Desmond didn't even get like the full Team of the Week card in Madden that year. He got like
Yeah.
it was garbage. I was like, how you gonna have 3 picks and then they ain't gonna give you Team of the Week? Because I know,
Invaluable.
Another thing we haven't talked about is Madden ratings.
yeah, but we'll get to that next one. I don't know if David really plays Madden that much.
A good bit of Madden.
You an Ultimate Team guy?
Madden enjoyer. I'm more of a franchise guy.
Me,
Yes.
I don't
Thank
know
you.
because I'm a competitive player. Like I went to tournaments and stuff. Like
Mm.
so, Ultimate Team's like if you want to play competitive, it's hard not to play Ultimate Team because that's like
Yeah.
because it used to be back in the day that the best competitive players play now. It's not like that anymore. Some of the best
Yeah.
they play. I don't know if you know what Draft Champions is, but that's
Mhm.
what the go-to competitive like guys that are up there. That's what they play because they find it more balanced team wise.
I play a little bit of MUT, but I'm not big into it.
No, because
I don't play a lot online.
it's
When it comes to franchise, I play in online leagues all the time. I'll play in 32-man leagues as much as possible.
I'm gonna get into
I
that for
know
23.
you.
I'm getting into one with Darrington Evans because he does like Twitch streaming. I know you know who that is, I think.
Of course I do. He's Chicago's third running back. Third. Right
Third?
now he's third. Yeah, third.
Okay.
Because, David Montgomery, top 10 running back, and Khalil Herbert, who had a great rookie season, both
Oh,
exist.
that's right. That's who the second running back is. That's
Khalil Herbert,
I'm
yeah.
about
I'm
that all day.
I'm genuinely hoping he does good because Darrington. I was really hopeful when he got out of App
His
State.
best hope with Chicago right now is the fact that he fits the wide zone scheme Luke gets. He's going to be running a lot better than David Montgomery does because he has speed to him. So he might get a decent bit of reps just because of that, but I guess time will tell. I feel like Monty's the type of running back, though, you kind of build your scheme towards. Uh, in that type of offense, you can still, it's not like you're not running cap plays and shit. So
Oh, we were talking about this earlier, me and Valente. Uh, and we even talked about this a little on your podcast, talking about running backs. I would argue that all 3 of us here have at least. But some people want to talk about Derek not being number 1. I don't see there's a way that you can't. Nah, bro. There's no way. There's no way. There's no back in the league that's ran for 2,000 yards that's active. That's like there you
yeah, but that
can't.
was
You
that's in the past. We're talking about right now, and in
it's
today's
one
NFL,
season.
you
He ran for
listen, listen, listen,
900
listen.
yards and
You need in today's NFL, you need a running back who can do more than just run the football. Derrick Henry is a non-factor in the receiving
I
game,
agree. I
whereas you
100
have a guy like Jonathan Taylor, who is not quite what Derrick is as a runner. He's not far off, but he's not quite there. But he is exponentially better as a receiver.
I
That's the
one
only reason I have JT above Derrick Henry. I'm not going to say you're crazy for putting Derrick Henry at number 1. I completely understand it. But I have JT above him just because I feel like he fits today's game better and offers more as an offensive playmaker.
By the way, we just
Never
got a
thought of it that
spoiler
way.
because that TikTok hasn't came out of the top 10 running backs yet, so we just got a little bit of a spoiler.
I've actually did come out last night.
Oh, it did came out.
Last night, yeah.
Oh,
But either way, I've made TikToks before saying JT's the best running back in football.
but see,
So
this is my
What's the
thing.
Maryland for you though? I just want to know. It's.
Yeah, because Valente
I
for
gotta
years has
know.
made the argument that AK is better than McCaffrey. He's made the
I
argument for
didn't
He
one of
put
the
is.
six.
Okay.
McCaffrey when I did my top 10, just because I don't know where to put him right now because he can't stay healthy. So I think
I don't
when
want
he's
to bitch
healthy, he's
that.
a top 3
For,
running back, but
See,
he
this is
hasn't
my
been
thing.
healthy enough for me.
If people want to talk about that receiving backs are so important, then there's no way that AK because there's no way AK is not the number one back. If it's so much more important for your back to be able to receive the ball, he's number it's like
It's not the fact that you just need to be able to receive the ball. You need to have a balance, and Jonathan Taylor has the best balance.
yeah, I would say Kamara's not the best runner. Like he hasn't had 1,000-yard season
Yeah.
running rushing
Kamara,
yet.
I mean, he's
So
the best receiving back in football, but he's not. He doesn't hold a candle to a guy like Jonathan Taylor purely on the ground.
yeah,
my
I'll say
my
that.
thing with Derek is last year was so Derek would have ran over 2,000 yards again if he didn't get hurt. I believe that. I don't,
Yeah, but
All right.
but that's carries wise. I was about to. That's carries wise. He's getting a lot of carries in
and
Tennessee.
I'm not even one that's gonna to knock him for volume. Like if you're a good running back, you're gonna get the ball. It's just the fact that he is a non-factor in the pass game. Derrick Henry does nothing for you as a receiver whatsoever. He's just not.
Now, one thing he's got better at is I'll argue he's a better blocker now than he was when he came out.
He better
Because
be a blocker if he can't catch the football. He's got to do something.
like that's what I think it is the fact that they don't typically have him running routes is the fact that I think over time you get better with something like that. And he's actually become a really good guy at throwing like impact blocks. Like a guy's running about to kill Ryan, and then you just see big 260-pound Derrick Henry out of nowhere. Wow.
Derrick Henry would make a fantastic fullback. I just want to put that out there. If he's developed a pass blocking
Quarterback.
ability, he would
If
make a fantastic fullback.
if Derrick Henry was in the 1980s, the amount of money that a team would have paid him to come to their squad would have been out. He's also the only guy. I think Derrick might be a like there needs to be a football Hall of Fame that involves all three sports. Like because the Pro Football Hall of Fame is just the NFL Hall of Fame, but
Yeah.
like I think there needs to be a high school Hall of Fame, but that's kind of hard to do.
Yeah, that would be weird. I don't think they'd do a high school Hall of Fame. Don't they have a college like Ring of Honor or
Yeah, they
something?
have a college Hall of Fame. It's in Atlanta,
Yeah, there you go.
but like Derek's the only guy that's ran for 2,000 yards in high school, college, and the NFL, and that's so crazy because he's got so
Yeah.
much volume that we were talking earlier, and we went on a long tangent, but this is where we were going to get at is the 2 years that are left on Derek's contract. I don't see him playing anymore after that. The volume's so high that
Mhm.
in high school he had in college. It was either in college or high school. He had 500 carries in a season. Like that's un. It might have been at Alabama with Nick Saban. I think he had 500 carries in a season. Like that's unbelievable. And no guy's ever been able to, and especially if he comes out and rushes between 1,500 and 2,000 yards this year, which is what I think he'll do. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't hit like the 2,000 again because I personally I think they're going to cut his carries a little bit to kind of help him out a little bit, but
Let's see that.
because I don't.
Who's your RB2 right now?
I
Which
think
back is it up?
Hassan's winning it out in camp right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the rookie. Okay.
Remember, because I got garbaged on for saying that there's a chance that the Titans could do what the Broncos did last year, and
I still don't think you're gonna have 2,000-yard rushers, but I can see Haskins playing well.
what I think could be more likely is Derek have 1,500 and Hassan have like 500 and something. I
I
think
could
that's
see that. Absolutely.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's more likely.
Two
Because there's
1,000
absolutely
yard
no
backs
way.
with Derrick Henry and a rookie just isn't gonna happen though.
Now look,
it
Derek
was
is levels above Melvin Gordon. They're not gonna cut his carries in half for
Right.
Hassan Haskins. I'm sorry.
Exactly. Javante, I mean, he came into the league as a borderline top 10 back, anyways. Like, there's a big
um
gap between the two of them.
Hassan.
Wait. You're saying like before he played a single down, you could call him top 10, or
I said borderline. I wouldn't put him in the top 10. But with the way I look at it, when running backs come into the NFL,
V, you've got to look
pending a
at
few exceptions, you pretty much know what they're going to be.
because
reverse?
you got to look at it too. Michael Carter and Javante Williams were next level at North Carolina. Like they were on a whole nother.
Boys.
They were on a whole nother level.
Mhm.
I don't know how they didn't
Incredible.
win games. I'll put that out here. They had Sam Howell, Michael Carter, and like there's a lot of teams that are like that. When
Chicago Bears legend Daz Newsome was also on that team. Don't forget it. And he can't stand out Daz Newsome.
then you
Why'd
have
y'all go
got
quiet? Why'd y'all go quiet? Like, hype me
I
up.
laughed.
Agree with me.
No, see, Daz Newsom's good.
Shit on
He's
Daz Newsome. He's
he's
good for a 6th-round pick on a team that has a horrid wide
Yeah.
receiver core.
he's
Yeah.
he's on probably Dez's level. Dez for the Titans, Dez Fitzpatrick.
Except Daz has a
We can
cooler
fight.
name.
We can fight on this.
No, because
Oh god.
Valente he's a Louisville guy, and like
Mm.
when we drafted Dez, we traded up for Dez and then immediately cut him after training camp, and I was so mad because we traded up for this guy and drafted him in like the 3rd round, and we traded up for him.
Fourth.
And
109.
we drafted him in the 4th round, and we traded up for him too. And I was
Yeah.
like, this guy might actually be pretty good because I was watching highlights, and highlights are like a worst person's fan, especially if it's
Highlights, yeah.
a worst person's
He's good.
friend, especially. And then
He's really good.
what's even worse
I swear.
is he scored his 1 touchdown for the Titans last year as a rookie in the worst game I've been the most unhappiest. I wasn't even this unhappy in the Bengals game. The Texans game where Ryan threw 4 picks because it's the Houston Texans, and I have so many people that I talk to that are Houston Texans fans that just absolutely will find any ability to garbage on the Titans. It was that game. I understand the Bengals game because I didn't expect us to compete. I was hopeful going into the game, but I thought that the Bengals and Raiders were going to be the team that represented in the AFC Championship game or the Super Bowl. Whoever won that wild card game for me was going to be the team that went all the way because I was a big fan of the Hunter Renfro, Brian Edwards, Deshaun Jackson, like the 3. Like that, I was actually a big fan of that because I thought Djax could take you over the top, Renfro could hit you in the middle, and then Edwards hits you short and runs because he's a good like bulldoze receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought that was a perfect core. If you were gonna give me my ideal core without having to pay a superstar receiver, because I agreeing with like the trading AJ thing. I don't think you need as much. You can have like guys that are good receivers, but you need multiple ones to substitute for a superstar receiver.
Right.
Like if you have like 2 or 3 guys that are good receivers, you don't need a superstar on your team. But the try theory, which is my NFL try theory, if you don't have a superstar receiver, you need a superstar running back. If you don't have a superstar running back, you need a superstar quarterback. You have to have one of the 3 or you're not going to
You
compete.
gotta have a superstar quarterback regardless in today's NFL.
Jimmy
I-
Garoppolo proved that wrong.
Matt Stafford just won a Super Bowl, bro.
Matt Stafford's a super. You don't think Matt Stafford's a superstar?
He's top 15, but superstar's top 5.
I got
Like,
Stafford at 6, and there's an argument for him to be in the top 5. Stafford is a superstar.
6. I don't know about 6.
I am firmly in
He's
belief
top
in
10.
6.
He's top 10,
okay,
but I don't think he's
okay.
6. That's a little
Firmly
too
believe
high.
he's
Let's
6.
play.
Who's below him?
Let's play Matt Stafford or I'll name some quarterbacks and you say Matt Stafford or. I see that on TikTok all the time.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson,
Stafford.
Yeah.
Jimmy Garoppolo,
Stafford.
Hell
Kirk
yeah.
Cousins.
Stafford.
Okay, okay. I'm saying small ones to start with.
Well,
Justin
Lamar was the
Herbert.
only decent quarterback he named. I give Herbert the slight edge.
Okay, so that's one. Not saying he's at one, but that's one. Brady.
I give the slight edge.
All right, that's 2. Mahomes.
Holmes, yeah.
All right, now the best quarterback in football, Josh Allen.
I'm not even going to respond to the statement you just made.
Aaron Rodgers.
Talent wise,
Mahomes.
no. Okay,
Talent-wise, it's Mahomes.
Mahomes.
Mahomes is the most talented quarterback that's ever touched a football.
Okay, look, it could go either way. Aaron Rodgers, Mahomes.
It's Aaron
is 2. I
Rodgers or
could
Mahomes.
interchange
Yeah,
those 2.
they're 1 and 2. You don't have them as your top 2.
Josh
You're out of your
Allen.
mind.
Josh Allen's my 3. Brady's my 4.
Yeah, I mean, those are your top 3, but 1 and 2 are interchangeable. 3 is firmly locked for Josh Allen. Josh
Yeah.
Allen had a good playoff run, and everybody thinks he's the best quarterback in football. He is way too inconsistent to be given that title just yet. He has the tools to get there, but he has not gotten there just yet. You need to hold off on that. We need to pump the brakes a little bit. I don't mean to be disrespectful. I didn't mean to come off like a dick, but
No.
like you got to pump the brakes a little bit.
And this is something I've actually given Mahomes, which is why Mahomes is like up there for me. And the top three are interchangeable, and my top three,
Not top three.
The
my
top two are interchangeable.
for me, the three are interchangeable, and I'm gonna try to explain why. Because I think that, and this is gonna sound stupid for what I'm about to say, athleticism matters at the quarterback position.
Yeah.
I think being able to extend the play as a runner is why Josh is up there for me. Because I think there's no.
Mahomes and Allen, or I'm sorry, Mahomes and
That's what
Rodgers
I'm
can do
saying.
it nearly as good. There's not a big gap. If you want to talk taking off beyond the line of scrimmage and like making plays, yeah, Allen's above them. But if we're just talking improvising, extending plays, getting outside of the pocket and moving to be able to set up a
Mahomes
throw,
is better at that than Allen.
Mahomes and Rodgers are better at that. And that's what matters more. Like you can have a quote unquote, I'm not even going to say pocket passer because that's the wrong word, but you don't need a Lamar Jackson to succeed at quarterback. You just need somebody who can move a little bit. And considering Rodgers and Mahomes are more consistent, more accurate, sense pressure better, read defenses better, process the
And
game better. They do everything better than Allen except take off beyond the line of scrimmage and have a strong arm. And even then, it's not like there's a huge gap.
and the argument I've seen the argument be made for Tom too. I've seen the argument be made for Tom to be up
I
there.
think Tom's closer to being better than Allen is to being better than Mahomes or Rodgers.
See, I don't see. I said that Josh Allen is number one, but now that I've sat here and thought about it, it's because I've never said this before. Valente's here and he talks to me all the time. I've never said that before, and
Yeah.
I don't know why.
The quarterback conversation doesn't come up around us a lot.
No,
So.
because you hate on Tom Brady and you think Drew Brees is
No,
better,
I
and it
don't. I
kills
don't hate
me.
on Tom Brady. Look. Okay. This. I don't hate on Tom Brady. I just don't like how everyone says that Super Bowls are the reason why he's the greatest of all time.
It's not Super Bowls. It's watching the man play and seeing what he's able to do on the field, how he processes the
Exactly.
defense, his IQ. Um, I mean everything. And then the Super Bowls are just like the icing on the cake. Super Bowls aren't the
Yeah,
argument;
that's.
they're the support. And I'm
He's
not saying that's your
I know,
argument.
and
I'm just giving like
I
the
don't like
general
when
sense.
people use that as like an argument. 7 Super Bowls or 3 MVPs or whatever you want to say it. Like
people
The
a
play
lot of
MVPs
people
could definitely be
fucking
in the
a lot
argument.
of people get on my back because I say that Drew Brees is the second biggest or second best quarterback of all time. Even
I got him in
you
my
know,
top five, but I think top two is pushing it a little bit.
because
I don't see how.
this is my thing.
Hold on, before you get started, I hate to do this, but is there a way I can step away for just a moment?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I will be just a second again.
So what you think so far, V? We having a good time here?
It's fun.
Rocks me
First
in.
guest. I like the idea of having guests on.
Look at Justin Fields looking swole, bruh. Look at he does look like he on
Damn,
steroids, bruh.
bro, he might be on steroids. Anyway,
We
we'll
gonna
kind of
bro.
continue this while he's gone as well, because I don't
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
have a big gap in between. Um, I do think like it's just for to me, I don't see a way where Drew Brees isn't the second best. I like I'm okay with him being the second best of all time because if you look at all these fucking quarterbacks out there in the world, second best is not bad. But I just don't like how people say Super Bowls is the reason why he's better.
When
Because
David when David gets back, I'm gonna explain why I think Super Bowls matter so much.
I don't think they do. Because Jimmy Garoppolo has 4.
He only has two.
Oh well, Jimmy Garoppolo has
Sorry about
2.
that, guys.
All right, so
You know what I'm saying? I just don't think Super
I'm
Bowls
gonna get into
matter
my
like
point.
that.
So
Obviously, obviously, Super Bowl matters for a Hall of Fame. I mean, if like you
when
said for Ryan Tannehill, if you average his stats for like the next
all
6
right,
years, and then
so the
might be
art
good.
Brittany, being that you brung it up, I gotta say it now. The argument for Ryan making the Super Bowl in that video was the fact he in the simulation he had 56,000 yards, 200 touchdowns, and only 100 interceptions. That's better than Eli Manning and Kurt Warner's final end of career
No,
statistics.
we're up there.
I said
66.
and I said in the video that if Ryan somehow say he does really good, David, he gets he becomes that upper echelon quarterback I think he was in 2020 with the 33 touchdowns and 7 picks. I think
For
you could
echelon, what range are we talking here?
top 10. He wasn't never above top maybe high top
No.
15. Top 15.
No, I think you're pushing it, man.
Top
Really
10?
do.
You don't like the idea of top 10?
No, I'm not a fan of top. Well, 2 years ago. Okay, I thought we were talking last year. That's my bad.
No, we're talking
No,
about
not last year. Hold on.
2019 and 2020. Those 2 years.
I can entertain it if we're talking that far back. That's my bad. I misunderstood what you were talking about.
Last year he took a fall down because I think it was a mix of a new offensive coordinator, him regressing a little bit. You can see it when he's throwing the ball. He doesn't have that zip that he had in 2020 and 2019.
Right.
And then it's a mix of that, new offensive coordinator, and a awful pass blocking offensive line. It's the three things all together.
Okay.
But the point I was making that if he finishes with those stats and a Super Bowl, you can argue that it's possible. Not first ballot, but you can argue it. The reason I'm bringing up that is because the entire reason that a vet wants to go to a contender is for a Super Bowl. So that means that Super Bowls matter to people, which means Tom Brady is the best football player to step on a field.
He is, but it's just not because of the Super Bowls. I'm sorry. Like,
it's everything on top of the Super Bowls. I get what we're talking about over here. Listen, I suck with names. What's your name?
My name?
Yeah.
Valente or Jay.
Okay, Valente. Listen, I get what you're getting at. Like, if Tom Brady was mid and he had 7 rings, it wouldn't matter. So I agree with you. It's definitely how talented he is on top of the 7 rings. Like I said, it's a support for his argument rather than the whole argument. Like who was
Ben
the
Russell?
edge rusher that had 6 rings?
Are you talking about the Charles Haley?
Yeah, Charles Haley. Nobody's putting him in their top 10 edge rushers. He's got 5, 6 rings.
No, it's the fact that he
doing
was a piece for the dynasty for the Cowboys and the Niners, and then
Right, but I'm saying
another
nobody's
team.
putting him in their
No,
top.
nobody's
in their right mind. It's putting him in the top 10 edge rushers.
I agree.
Everyone saying he's the best ever. It's not just the rings. It's the fact that Brady has been the best quarterback of all time on the field, on top of having 7 rings.
I also think
I can agree with that. I can agree with that. You take away his rings, you take away everybody's rings, he's still the best.
Yeah, but I was gonna say if we don't take rings into the equation at all, he's still the best. If we take away his rings and let everyone else keep their rings, yeah. Even if you take away just his rings, he's still a top 10 quarterback all time. If everyone else keeps their rings, Brady never wins a ring, but he still plays the way he's played. He's still top 10 all time.
Yeah, because people put Dan Marino in the top 10, and but
different era though.
I've looked at something,
that's why I factor it, man.
And I might actually make a video. I don't know. I can't make a video on this because I only post like real Titans content on my channel, but I'm gonna bring it up here but Kurt Warner shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. There's no. He had 35,000 passing yards, and he played like 12 years. There's no way. You can't argue that.
Listen, the Hall of Fame, in my opinion, isn't the Hall of Stats, right? It's not the Hall of Statistics. It's the Hall of Fame. It's based on a player's fame, their notoriety. And Kurt Warner being one of, if not the greatest undrafted player of all time, he deserves a spot. It's like, by that logic, everybody that played before like 1960 should be taken out of the Hall of Fame, and I would literally castrate you if you had that take. Because those players are the forefounders of the NFL. They're the founding fathers. They deserve their credit. They deserve their roses. And it pisses me off that people look at them and don't give them credit. But like I said, it's the Hall of Fame. It's about your notoriety. It's about what you accomplished. It's not necessarily the Hall of Stats or the Hall of looking good. It's the Hall of Fame. And Kurt, like I said, greatest undrafted player of all time. He deserves to be there.
All right, can I
Let
ask
me
a
read off
question?
some of
Can I?
these awards that he's won in his career,
Uh,
though. That
I was about to
definitely puts him in the Hall of
get to
Fame.
that. Can I ask you? Can I ask a question before you read those off? And it goes with the point.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can argue because if I'm not wrong, it happened in week 1 of the preseason or week 1 of the regular season. But the guy that was the starting quarterback for the Rams that year, they win that Super Bowl that year that Kirk got the quarterback. If they're because that team is stacked. Like
See, now you're getting into hypotheticals, and that's
fair,
just when you
fair.
get into hypotheticals like that. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but when you get into hypotheticals like that to discredit a player, you're really reaching, in my opinion. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Sure, maybe, but we'll never know. So what's the point in bringing it up? You know?
And maybe like just this is to bring it back to a little bit of comedy. Maybe the reason I hate Kurt Warner is because he stole the Super Bowl from the Titans. Like the one chance we had at it, one
Yeah.
this far from the goal line. And as much as we glorify Steve McNair, he missed a wide open touchdown in the end zone. People talk about Ryan not being successful in the playoffs. You miss a wide open touchdown in the end zone, like in the Super
In the
Bowl.
Super Bowl?
Yeah,
Well, he made it to the Super Bowl.
bro, we've talked about this. Dude was 6-11 statistically in the playoffs in his career. Cuz was not a
All right,
good
but
playoff quarterback.
let me read off some of these career like awards for Kurt Warner. He has a Super Bowl. He's a Super Bowl MVP. 2 MVPs. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
gonna count the Man of the Year because that's like a award you get for being a good
has
person.
3 Super Bowl appearances. By the way, I know that's not going to be on there, but he has 3 Super Bowl appearances. He has
Yeah,
two with the Rams and
two
one with the Cardinals.
two first team All Pros, 4 Pro Bowls. He led the league in touchdowns 2 years or 2 years. He led the league in completion percentage for 3 years in a row. Uh, he led the league in passing 2 times. Led the league in passing yards in 2001. The Burt Bell Award, the Bart Starr Award, and he's in the Ring of Honor for the Arizona Cardinals.
See, I
He
care
had a
about that stuff
career
more. Oh, sorry, I didn't know you weren't done. Sorry.
he had a career completion percentage of 65.5.
See, I care about all that more than I care about stats when it comes to determining greatness. You've got what was
The
it? Two
awards.
MVPs, 6-time All Pro, Super Bowl champion. Like that matters more to me than some guy like Kirk Cousins who's top 5 every year in yards and touchdowns and completion percentage and all that crap.
I brought this up to Valente when because he was helping me with the season like averages for Ryan. If you give it 10, 20 years, 50,000 career passing yards at the end of the career is not going to be that much because there's guys putting up 4,000 yards a season now. It's not going to be that
Yeah.
much.
Like I said, numbers aren't something like. Yeah, they matter. I'm not saying stats don't matter, but I don't hold as much weight to them as I do like what you're actually seeing on the field, the impact a player has, the accolades they get, etc. I care a lot more about that stuff than I do a pretty looking stat line. It's like
I,
stats. The big thing with me, people just read them. They don't put context to them, and when you don't put context to them, people like Kirk Cousins end up in your top 5 quarterbacks, and that's just ridiculous. Cousins is not a top 5 quarterback. He's not a top 10 quarterback. He's barely a top 15 quarterback.
did
He's
you
not that
see?
great.
Were you seeing the stuff when last year he had like 30 touchdowns and like 2, 3 picks, and people were talking about how he should be in the MVP conversation? Were you seeing that?
Yeah, I was also seeing when his head coach told him that he needs to actually throw the ball downfield, and he said no. I also saw when he scored a game-winning touchdown, and in the post-game interview said, "Yeah, I wish I could have that one back and maybe throw it a little bit shorter and be a little bit safer with it." That's not a great quarterback mentality. That's a backup mentality. That's a game manager mentality. Kirk is a glorified game manager. I will
Ooh.
die on that hill. I get a lot of shit for that take. I don't care. He is a glorified game manager.
Minnesota's very much like Washington, where they have a stacked roster, and the only excuse you can make for them not being really good is because of Kirk Cousins.
Oh, but it's the
Yeah.
defense. It's the defense's fault. That's what all the Vikings fans say. It's the defense's fault. But I don't think these people realize that the reason your defense is bad is because they're on the field so much.
That's what I was
When
about
you're
to
on
say.
the field, yeah.
If you're not on the field so much, your defense doesn't have to be like that. And if I'm not
That's a,
wrong,
oh,
if
sorry,
I,
go ahead.
if I'm not wrong, I was there's this guy that's on TikTok that uploads like training today in the NFL training camp videos, and
It's elite takes. Nico.
oh, it is.
He's been doing those.
Oh,
He's done them like the past seven,
Yeah.
8 days.
That might be who it is, but I'm not 100% sure, so I don't want to say anything. But because then no, because stuff has started to be weird recently. If I say something, somebody will put in the comments, by the way, you're wrong at this point, and it just. But I, I'm gonna have to start getting used to that as my our stuff.
Listen, when you're a content creator, they're gonna say dumb shit to you. I got a hater. I finally have like my first real hater. The kid was mad that I put Jonathan Taylor as a top 3 running back. He said
I
Dalvin Cook
love
was
hate.
better.
Trust me, haters are
He,
so fun to deal with.
oh my god, this kid! Listen, not to go off on a full tangent. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but like, I I said something along the lines of because he comments shit on my videos all the time, just being straight up negative. So I was like, "Go ahead, man, keep stalking my page. Feed me increase the algorithm or help the algorithm and feed me your negativity so I can turn it into positivity or something." He was like, "Yeah, man, I'll just keep feeding your ego. Sounds good to me." And I was like, "Okay, cool." Like,
Um,
I don't know. I just think it's funny how, like, I don't know. I just thought it was funny that the kid's a straight up negative asshole, and you got to deal with those. Is my point. When
I
you
was
get
uh I was gonna ask you something because I felt very stupid. I'm not even gonna lie. I felt very stupid after the Titans podcast because I said some. I told Valente this afterwards. I said some takes that I wouldn't have said. Like
we
I
all do it.
like the Derek and Hassan having both 1,000 yards. It's something I have thought in my head, but would genuinely, when you look at it, it's not a thing that could genuinely happen. It was close to happening with Melvin and Javante. If they would have played one more game, they would have had it.
Hmm.
Maybe not. They would have had to have really good games because they had like 920 yards each. But you get my point.
Yeah, I think
But
they each had the same amount of carries, and
they had the
Javante only had
same.
like 15 less yards.
They had the same amount of carries, and Melvin had like 5, 6 more yards. But it was. But
So
anyway,
is Melvin a borderline top 10 running back, David?
No, absolutely not. Again, I'm not big on the numbers. It's about what I see on tape, and what I
Yeah,
see on
I know, I
tape
know, I know.
is Javante Williams is a future superstar, and Melvin Gordon is Melvin Gordon.
yeah, bro. We can't put this up now.
Melvin hasn't been the same for me ever since he held out again, like with the Chargers.
Yeah,
He hasn't been himself. He had a little bit of a resurgence, like maybe his second year in Denver, I think. Maybe it was his first year. He played all right, but I'll put it
he
this way: there's a
stole.
reason they drafted Javante Williams in the top or
He
in the second
stole
round.
the job from Philip Lindsay. It's crazy. Philip
Yeah,
Lindsay
Yeah,
had that job on lock, and he stole it, bro. Philip
99 carrying in Madden. I
90
guarantee you, the one time he fumbles, that's just getting dropped to an 85.
because
I
that's the
guarantee
one.
it.
That's the one thing Madden does for Philip every year is 99 carrying because he's never fumbled as a pro.
yeah. I don't think
But
he's fumbled. He didn't fumble in college either, did he?
I don't know where he went to college. He went to some like Colorado.
Yeah, went to a small school.
Yeah, he went to like Colorado Tech or something like that.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as
Tech?
It's
That
not as bad.
exists?
No, I've just said something out of my ass. Colorado. It's some Colorado school. Colorado State, like Colorado State Belmore or something like that. It was something like
Right.
that.
What?
Just some
Here,
small
I'll look
school
it
in
up.
Colorado.
But Austin Eckler went to a small school in like Colorado, like West Colorado State or something like that.
Yeah.
Colorado's pumping out some running backs.
Yeah.
It's all the weed. It's all the legal weed.
True.
their their
Yeah.
pa-
True.
their pain tolerance is a lot higher, so they can do a lot more stuff.
Which
It's
is ironic
true.
considering Austin Eckler's like afraid of contact.
Have you seen that?
University of Colorado Boulder.
Bold. Oh shit! It's like the
Like the rock.
no, like the song. Uh, shit. What's the
Um,
song? What's the song?
baby, pull me closer
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah, 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 yeah.
backseat of
Yeah,
your.
yeah, yeah. What's that song called? What's that song called? Oh
Um,
my god, this is gonna piss me off. I love that song.
it's
Chain
chain smokers.
smokers.
The Chainsmokers, yeah. And Halsey, right? I think it's Halsey's the girl on
Yeah,
that.
I forgot the fucking song's called. Damn it. Hold on. I'm finding
Is it
it.
Closer?
Baby,
Is
pull
it called
me
Closer?
closer. Yeah, closer.
Closer, 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 closer,
Okay,
closer. Yeah.
that's a great song.
From the
Yeah.
mattress that you stole from your roommate back in Boulder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I think of Boulder, I think of my NCAA Colorado safety dynasty. that's for the University of Colorado because they play in Boulder.
Ellen.
But anyway, um,
We got like super off topic.
yeah.
Yeah,
Let
I
me
don't even
check.
know where we were at this point.
Let me check the time.
What
We're
what were we talking about?
because I don't want to take up too much of David's time. I'm imagining
Listen,
these
I'm free the whole night. If
because
y'all want to, it's up to y'all.
we're at an hour and 30. I don't know how much longer Valente's wanting to go.
I don't care. I'll fall asleep on this mic if I have to.
No, but anyway, we got the hot and spicy that we'll do in a few minutes
Right?
because I don't want to miss out on that. That's something I actually because this is the first time we've done that. I want to get into like an actual thing. Eventually,
I gotta know.
hopefully, eventually, when I grow the podcast enough, I want to get a graphic that's like a pepper or red pepper with like sunglasses on. Like, you ever watch Regular Show?
Yeah. Love regular show.
Okay. Do you know the episode where they went and got the firework
I know
and
exactly what you're
and they
talking
shoot
about.
it in the air and it's like the pepper with like the thing? That's what
Yeah,
I want the logo to be for hot and spicy.
I like that.
Because Regular Show was my go-to show. I actually I saw your TikTok, which is why I knew you would know what it was. I don't know why I said, "Do you know what this is?" But it was crazy because it's similar. Like as I started rewatching the show, because I started rewatching it because I've got a Hulu account for with my college. So I started
Mm,
rewatching it. I was like, "This Hulu account's going to waste." I've had it for about 6 months and I ain't watching nothing but Family Guy when the new seasons come out, and it's
mhm.
getting slowly and slowly worse every season. So um when regular show I saw regular show was on there and I started watching it, and I'll be damned if I'm like 2 seasons deep and I go on TikTok like a week after we've done the podcast, David's like, regular show was a go-to show for me, man, when I was in high school. It was my go-to, and I was like,
Still a go-to. It's one of my favorites ever.
the dude, the director that did the show, I think is
Deep Patel.
he's criminally underrated because his
It's
show
incredible.
the show he did for HBO Max. Uh,
Close enough. Yeah, it's really good too.
yeah, and it just got canceled, and I'm so mad.
Got canceled.
Mm-hmm.
It's lame.
He
HBO Max is going downhill. All like HBO Max is about to close down. I think, unfortunately.
hopefully they get saved by the Game of Thrones House of Dragons show that's coming out soon. But
It sucks because HBO Max, that's my favorite streaming service. Like they're incredible, but all the shit coming out with like Warner Brothers and them canceling the Batgirl movie and wanting to reset stuff because it's not financially good for them or however they put it. Like HBO Max is one of those things that's apparently on the chopping block too, from what I've read.
um, I heard a rumor. Well, like me and Valente not as much anymore, but we're like kind of big wrestling fans. I heard some rumors that HBO Max wanted a wrestling company to like do weekly shows on there. So that was just a
For it.
small little thing
Yeah, I love HBO Max.
because
They're trying to
Netflix,
pull themselves out of the wreckage, though. I
yeah,
think at this point.
because Netflix had one for a little while that was like a Mexican wrestling show,
Mm.
and it was doing like views for a little while, but anyway,
Valid.
That company got canceled, by the way. They don't
yeah, that company got canceled because Netflix pulled their deal,
bankrupt.
and that's bad.
Anyway,
Netflix is a company that's going downhill too because they cancel shows after one season.
oh
Yeah.
no, let's slow down.
The
I had a show on there I absolutely loved. It was called Hoops. It was goofy, but
Oh
I
my
loved
god,
it. And they
I love
canceled
that
it after
shit. I
one
love that
season.
shit. I
Yeah.
love that shit. Oh my
Oh,
god.
I got a question for you, David. You being a big fan of regular show and like the low key how it's like kind of adult comedy
Yeah.
hidden into Cartoon Network. It's
Mhm.
crazy how they did some of this stuff. Like it's adult comedy hidden into Cartoon Network. But
Yeah.
are you a big fan of Big Mouth?
No, I do not like Big Mouth. Big Mouth, like I liked it at first, but then I just started getting really uncomfortable watching it because like I respect adult humor. It's
Or
really weird
is
when
it
you
the
try to
fact that
do it
it's
with little
kids?
kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Like if
factored it
Big Mouth
into like a kid's world.
Yeah, if Big Mouth was about like college students, I would like it. But we're like we got a preteen talking to her vagina. Like I'm good. Good.
I think it's gonna
You
get
know what?
better. I think it's gonna get better with the fact that they're now entering high school. They're about to enter high school now. So
See, I like the cast. Like I'm a huge John Mulaney fan, and Nick Kroll is absolutely hilarious. I love them, but like
how
I just don't want to watch middle schoolers talk about their private parts,
see
and then
this
show said private parts.
They said
But
it.
you know what Netflix really is good at?
What?
They're really good at picking up shows that get canceled by other networks.
They did that with. It didn't get canceled, but they did that with the new seasons of Pokemon, and they're awesome.
Yeah.
Like one example for me that wasn't
Bro, it's
canceled is the
crazy, David. I wasn't gonna bring this up. I'm sorry for interrupting you, Valente, but it's crazy that you even said that because I wasn't gonna bring this up. But before we went live on here, I was working on some overlays because I'm gonna do some Pokemon Gen 2 like streams on Twitch, and it's crazy that you brought up Pokemon, bro, because I was working on overlays right before we started.
I love Pokemon. I absolutely love it. I
not
got
friends already. Like, why is this like the second time y'all have ever talked? I think.
you see
No,
that?
Like,
oh, it's the Charizard,
Yeah,
bro.
it's
Hand me
not mine,
Bulba.
it's my little
Hand me Bulba.
sister's, but like it's a big they got it at the fair. Or I'm sorry, they went to a water park the other day. My sister won it. Big ass Charizard.
Bro, we're gonna have to battle real quick. Throw Bulba. Come on now.
like I was saying, about Netflix, like, like Cobra Kai was a YouTube Red show. Like, I'm pretty sure you all know infamous like YouTube Red,
Mhm.
like how shit that was.
Bulba.
Nice.
YouTube Red show, like they completely turned that show around. It's one of the most popular shows on Netflix now, and
Cobra
Netflix
Kai is
owns
really
it.
good on Netflix.
I love it. I'm so excited for season 5
When's that coming out?
next month, September 9th.
Awesome.
Netflix has got this new show called Sandman that's in the same universe as Lucifer. Show is low key really looking good.
Cool.
I like how this was supposed to be a predominantly NFL episode, and we started talking about
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
we went from football to Netflix and Pokemon and HBO Max.
I told Valente because the podcast is called the Bye Week, but I told Valente that I kind of sometimes want to get into more like non-sports related content because my main channel is predominantly full of sports.
hmm
And his first reaction was, "People are gonna hate us because it's the bye week, and we're gonna be talking about like
Well,
different
see,
stuff."
that's why for the Ball Knower podcast, we've got a tagline and it's sports and more. So it's just like out there. And if we start rambling about other shit, they need to expect it. 'Cause me and my buddy Andrew, my co-host,
It's
we
your
do the
fault
same
for not
thing.
seeing that and more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we could have went into that. You know what? Bro? You gotta change the logo and instead of the basketball, put like the movie thing where you clap it and say "scene take one" or whatever.
I could do that
Put that
actually.
in there. I like a movie film thing. Yep.
I was gonna say, just change the name of your podcast to the Bi-Week Podcast, Sports and More. There you go. You're covered. Nobody can get mad at you.
I thought it was kind of,
Don't take it too seriously.
but yeah, because I don't even know if we should talk about this, but originally we were supposed to do this with 3 people, like it was supposed to be 3 of us, but
Yeah.
um,
Oh my.
2 days
can't
after we had a falling out with them.
can't. No, because we 3-man groups don't work for us. Because our friend Dakota, he has we tried to do a YouTube channel with him about 2 years ago, and he just wasn't in the place to upload videos creatively and stuff. So we scrapped that. That was called CGX because at the time it was all of our YouTube names, Casgul and Xenophon, but he's now changed it to be more like himself based. So
Yeah.
Fair enough.
and
Okay. I don't know if anybody plays like NBA 2K or like
I
the
do a little
sweaty
bit.
names. Like I don't know if you've ever seen like a sweaty name. So I sell for subs is basically like um so a thing in 2K like when you like mess up, your team likes to say like, "Oh, you sold." And I mess up a decent bit, and I say I sell, but I get subs for it. So
I get it. I respect it.
but
I've
yeah,
got DMs for people saying, "Yo, if you sell this game, I'll sub."
All
but
right,
yeah,
hold
like
on.
oh, go ahead.
Just want to make it known. I'm in the final round of this draft, and I just took Kyle Juszczyk.
Of course, you took the
I
fullback.
I want to
Want that
add.
to be
We were
known.
going to get into that, and I'm glad that you said something about fullback because I would have forgotten. I would have got pissed at myself after. I probably would have ended up texting you on Twitter saying, "I got some more questions for you, David. You got to come back on the podcast one day." But anyway, after we get about like 30, 40 episodes deep, we're going to have David back on. Probably towards the end of the season when he's wrong about my Titans and we win a Super Bowl.
What Super Bowl?
The Super Bowl of exiting in the first round. We're three peats, bruh. It's we got that Michael Jordan treatment.
Oh my.
Anyway, when we get because if I'm not wrong, didn't you say in the breakdown video that you were gonna try to have people on like later on in the season or something like that? I might be wrong.
I don't know if I said it in that, but I am planning on doing that again. Any teams that make the playoffs, I'll probably, or not probably, I will do like a playoff preview for each team with guests. So if the Titans are in the playoffs, I'll obviously be hitting your line. If not, you're gonna have to cope, I guess.
Yeah.
The Saints are there. Please get me there, cause I remember contacted you about getting on like the Saints team previews, which I guess you said you already had it done, and I'm like, you still haven't uploaded it, so you
You
Yeah,
are
you
a
got a
yeah,
heavy workload.
workaholic.
I'm assuming.
yeah. I've done a lot in advance,
You're a
just because of
workaholic, bro.
scheduling. Ironic part is I'm really not. It's just I wanted to get these done. So
There was a point
Done, just
where
not uploaded yet.
I would I would set out a day when my college was starting. I would set out a day where I didn't have any classes and I would record the episodes for the week and just have all the week go out. And that might be what I try to go back to towards um because my school starts back on Monday. And I know it's Monday, but it's next Monday. We start back and now having I'm gonna start streaming Pokemon videos because I want to get into that because I've been watching some of my old like Pokemon YouTubers and all of them got canceled. So it's kind of all of them got canceled because they were messing around with like some underage people, so they got canceled.
I don't know, like who?
Watch the Pokemon YouTubers that
Okay,
do that.
there was a 500K YouTuber I used to watch named King Nappy.
Okay, I haven't heard of him.
He was like the guy that was known for being like top tier,
Okay.
and he was he kind of he was talking to somebody that was 17 and it was because Nappy was bisexual. So he was talking to this dude named Luke who was a YouTuber. And they were friends, but Nappy had feelings for Luke and he told him and like they were like he was basically grooming Luke.
Right.
Yeah, to be his boyfriend
It's
later on.
unfortunate.
Yeah, and they like called him out on it. He took a break from the internet for like 2 years. Then he came back and got so much hate, so he took a break again. And now it's rumored
It's
that when
like
the
Gemini on TikTok.
and now it's rumored when the new Pokemon game comes out, that's supposed to come out like very soon, that he's gonna come back again. But that's not the reason he got canceled. Funny enough, because people didn't. It was he said some negative stuff about Etika when Etika killed herself.
Oh Lord, really?
Yeah,
It's
because
awful.
Nappy and Etika were like they had beef with each other, and um when that happened, he said he started like talking about like what he actually said isn't like public knowledge, but people that were in their friend group said that if they said some stuff, it was really it was out there.
Unfortunate.
But
It's
anyway,
awful.
let's get back in the NFL. I bet you so many NFL fans have tuned out.
Yeah.
But we're almost 2 hours in. Most of the people that are going to watch this anyway have tuned out.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get into the hot and spicy takes.
All right.
So how y'all want to decide who goes first? Y'all want to go to?
First, I'm shooting from the
Let
hip,
me.
so I need time to think.
Let's go
I was
with.
gonna say I need time to think too.
Okay, I'll go first. Okay. So I had brought this up.
Remember, these are hot takes. So
These are
remember,
hot.
these are hot takes. So
Right.
I'm just gonna say now, Josh Allen being the best quarterback in the league, that wasn't a hot take, but it was taken like it was.
No, because later on I went back and admitted I don't actually believe that. I
That
was
take lasted a whole 5 minutes.
like I don't.
Yeah.
Okay, these are my takes. The Los Angeles Rams repeat. They go back to back. And that was kind of the point we were getting at earlier with Allen Robinson. I think there is no way you can look at the Rams team and say they are a worse team than they were last year. Now, there are some teams that have gotten better, like the Raiders, Chargers. You talking about all these teams that have gotten better. I think having probably the number one corner in the NFL, even though I think people overrate the jump from Ramsey to other guys. I think Ramsey's number one, but I don't think the jump's like as far as people make it seem. That's first of all.
The jump's not bigger than your forehead.
Hell.
Wait, you said it earlier, okay? You said it.
Okay. I'm gonna be quiet.
He'll
now.
roast me later, Tress. He'll roast me later.
Anyway, all right, guys, we've actually gone a little bit longer than what we expected, so we're gonna actually cut this right here, and we're gonna evolve into the rest of the podcast into next week. So, that's another thing, because I wanted to update you guys about the podcast will now be going to weekly. We think that that's going to help our schedules a lot more. We think that that's just better overall for us to be able to put content out, and overall, it's just better to have more stuff to talk about. So, by the way, I love David. That's the part of as like a person to talk football with. So I think that's a really good reason to have him on for 2 different podcasts. We're going to eventually have him on again later on, but we're splitting it into 2 weeks of content. So, gotta love having David Miller on to talk about the Chicago Bears. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the podcast. We'll see you next week. And that's it. Bye, guys.